Hey everyone, this is GFrom bringing you my fourth video game review where I'm gonna take a look at Ratchet Clank for the Sony PlayStation 2. Let's get right into it. The evil Chairman Drake of the Nebula race extracts large parts of other planets and destroys them after that in order to build a new one, because his own planet is polluted. He produces large destructive robots when suddenly by mistake a small intelligent robot emerges. This little guy finds a video recording of Drake's plans on an infobot. He escapes in a spaceship and gets shot down over the planet Velden. Here a Lombax named Ratchet finds the robot and calls him Clank. Clank shows Ratchet the infobot and asks him to help him find Captain Quark, the famous superhero, in an effort to stop Drake.
This could be a problem.
They find him, but it appears that Quark is working for Drake. So Ratchet and Clank have to save the galaxy on their own. Easy task, isn't it?
Whatever.
In Ratchet & Clank you visit many planets with a large collection of really cool gadgets and weapons which you of course use to pass obstacles and defeat enemies. There are up to 35 of them which either can be found or bought. You can buy weapons and ammo from GFrom vendors with bolts, which you can find everywhere in crates or when you defeat an enemy. There are also secret gold bolts, which you later, when you defeat a Drake, can use to buy stronger gold versions of your weapons. When you start the game you just have a wrench, which is your standard melee weapon, and a bomb glove. Yes, a glove that shoots bombs. There are tons of crazy weapons, such as the Morpho Ray, which turns your enemies into chickens, and the Suck Cannon, which sucks up smaller enemies and fires them onto others. Your health system, called Nanotech, starts at 4 bubbles, but can be upgraded later in the game, giving you a total of 8 hit points. Clank gets upgraded as well, so that you for example can use him as a jetpack. But you can also play as him in his own stages, where he controls smaller robots in order to solve puzzles and such. Clank can even become Giant Clank to kick some serious butt. Then there are Hoverboard Racings, space combat levels and tons of minigames, which appear in almost every level. On every planet you have to accomplish several missions and collect infobots, which give you coordinates for the next planet. You get to see many great cutscenes with some comedic elements in them as well.
You will find raritanium for me.
No, I will not.
Since there are so many different control types for Ratchet, Clank, spaceships, etc., let's stick with Ratchet. With X you jump, with square you do some serious damage with the wrench, with circle you shoot, and with triangle you get into the quick select menu. With the R buttons you duck, and with the L buttons you aim in a first person perspective. Combining R1 and X you use your jetpack to get higher, and if you push forward while doing that, you'll be able to fly forward a bit. With select you bring up the map screen, and that's basically it. The controls are fluid, Ratchet almost always does what you want him to do, and with the exception of the camera, which can be stupid at times, I have nothing wrong with the game when it comes to controls. Is this a beautiful looking game or what? When this came out I had never seen such busy environments anywhere in a video game before. There's so much going on in the backgrounds. The characters are all well animated, and if Ratchet is near to his death, he looks tired. The level designers made a really good job creating these futuristic planets. Sure, we have our standard fire and snow levels, which look pretty awesome by the way. But there's so much more to see, like the space shuttles, gigantic cities, the polluted planet, Captain Quark's survival course, a vacation themed planet, and much more. I enjoy just looking at these beautiful sceneries. Sometimes it just gets crazy when you have to go upside down with the gravity boots. It's making me sick. My favorite stage has to be the one called Atlantis Orbit. It's just an awesome level to play, so much variety in just one stage. And boy, the music kicks some serious ass. Which once again leads us to... Like I said 5 seconds ago, the music in Atlantis Orbit is awesome, and it's also my favorite tune in the whole game. I've noticed that the levels with the best music usually also are my favorite stages to play, in most games that is. That kinda shows how important a good soundtrack is. In this game the music is pretty good. It's nothing you would remember though. The music stays in the background for the most part, it never gets annoying or anything like that. It's just nothing you would put on your iPod if you know what I mean. But while playing, I enjoyed many of the tracks, like the first one on planet Velden. See, it's good music, but not memorable at all. The sound effects on the other end are top notch. It just sounds right, just like the voice acting. It's a shame Ratchet didn't keep his voice from this game and the others. I think it fits perfectly to his dude-like teenager attitude.
And I am your man.
Back in the year 2002, Insomniac Games released Spyro Year of the Dragon for the PlayStation. After that they wanted to start something different due to the limits of the main character, having no hands for guns. For the PS2 they planned to release a game called Girl with a Stick, but that was scrapped. Later they came up with ideas for Ratchet & Clank. Naughty Dog, the creators of Crash Bandicoot, asked Insomniac if they were interested to share the game technology used in their new game Jak and Daxter, and they agreed. In 2002, Ratchet & Clank was released as an exclusive title for the PlayStation 2, and as you might have guessed, it was praised by critics, mostly because of the excellent graphics and tight controls. One advice I can give you is to look for bolts all the time and everywhere, otherwise you'll get problems later on when you can't afford stronger weapons. Speaking of weapons, don't buy every one of them. If you do so, you have to spend a lot more time searching for bolts, which can become annoying. So don't buy the decoy glove or the pyrociter, because there are way better weapons to buy, such as the Devastator or the Visibomb gun. Those two rock. There isn't a whole lot to complain about. Sure, the camera is selfish at times, but I can get over that. Climbing is a bit slow and this here takes forever. Wish I could just skip these parts. However, there are two levels in this game that always make me angry, both because the enemies are annoying as hell. First is the stage called Nebula G34. This is the first time it really gets hard. You won't believe how many times I died. I will admit, sometimes I just failed, but this is by far the hardest level in the game, and it's one of the earlier levels, which makes it even more frustrating. I think this was the third time I played through this game, and Nebula G34 still gave me headaches. Because even when you got killed by the boss, you still had to run through half the level again, dealing with tons of enemies. Makes me sick just thinking about it. The other planet is Pokitaru. It may look nice, but damn, these stupid red spiky fish thingies just keep coming. Definitely my most hated enemy in the whole game. For being the first one in the franchise, this game has a lot to offer. The graphics are superb, with great special effects like the electricity. The levels look very nice, and it's such a blast to enjoy all the different types of planets and gameplay elements. There are so many crazy weapons and gadgets, it's unbelievable. The slide boots are awesome, and I had a lot of fun playing these parts. And the swing shot is pretty awesome too. Something I appreciate is that whenever Ratchet needs his O2 mask or whatever, it appears automatically. Good thing you don't have to select it every time. This game just never gets boring because there's so much to do, like these mini games in every level and some very good platforming. The difficulty is just right for the most part, but you will die a lot though. It takes a little practice, but the learning curve is close to perfect. Something I found really cool was that you had to play just with Ratchet in one of the last levels, where you could see how skilled you actually are, because you didn't have the helipad or the jetpack. I also like the cutscenes, which I think were hilarious.
That's right, I am the man.
Ratchet & Clank is a great duo, although Ratchet is just a selfish teenie at times. Story-wise and gameplay-wise, this game is entertaining and straightforward. You'll never have to do a lot of backtracking, and instead of having to go all the way back to the spaceship, they provide a teleporter for you instead, keeping the action going. This is not your standard average platformer, it's way better than that. It's not just one of my favorite platformers of all time, but one of my favorite games overall. If I had to describe this game in 3 letters, it would be F-U-N. Fun. Meanwhile, there are 9 games in the franchise, and the first still manages to impress me after 7 years. 7 years, man, time just passes by. Is this my favorite in the franchise? I really can't tell. I have so much fun playing all of them. Now that I played this one recently, I'd say, yes damn it, this game is the shit. But I remember saying that after playing Ratchet & Clank 2, 3 Up Your Arsenal, and Ratchet Gladiator as well. Let the game speak for itself. If you're new to the series, it's best to start with this one, because you shouldn't miss this great title. Even if you have only played the PS3 games, go back and check out Ratchet & Clank for the PlayStation 2. You won't regret it. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, I hope you liked my review and that you see that Ratchet & Clank is a must-have title. Feel free to rate, comment and subscribe. My next review will be F-Zero for the Super Nintendo. I'll see you later. Have a nice day.